Hello everyone, it's Kari today, and I have a fun project using these products from Miss Ink Stamps. This is the cutest little dog set. Look at all these sentiments like sorry your life is rough or pamper yourself, and all these cute dogs in a little bath, a little bubble bath. So I thought it would be fun to pair with this stencil here. This looks a little like bubbles to me. And then they have this small dot stencil, which I ended up not using today on these projects, but I do think it would be super cute to add some glitter over the top using that small dots one. It's the smallest dots I've ever seen. So it would be really fun to add just a little bit of something. So I'm going to start out by just inking on these bubbles, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make bubbles on your backgrounds, and they're all super fun and cute and easy. So I'm starting out with this stencil here. I just have it down with these magnets, and I'm doing a base layer of a light blue color, and I'm going to show you, see, it's just very light, just gives you the illusion of the start of bubbles here. And now I'm going to take some different colors and start adding these colors. So this is a darker blue, this is Mermaid Lagoon, and I'm just going in a couple of spots to make it a little darker around some of the edges of these. So here you can see there's a little bit of darker blue on some of them. Now I'm going to add some different colors. If you look at bubbles in real life, when you blow bubbles, they have kind of an iridescent shine to them, and there's lots of different colors. And so I'm going to add a bunch of different colors here and there, not all of them in the same spot, but just kind of around those bubbles. Now I'm starting to go in with a pink, and I decided that that one was a little too dark, so I've got some spun sugar here, which is one of the lightest pink inks that I own. And I'm just going to add those around some of the edges, just a little bit, just enough to give it a touch of pink. So here's a look at that. And now I'm going to add just a little bit more, and then I'll go in with the next color, which is purple, and I decided to go for the lightest purple here as well. And lastly, I'm going to go in with some Salvaged Patina. That's going to add a little blue-green feeling to it, and I really like this color to finish up. So I'll show you the results here. Again, just a few spots here and there, and it's not even on all the bubbles. So they're all different. They all look different. But look at how pretty this ends up. A really fun background and super easy. But you get a lot of different colors and a lot of variety in the bubbles, some variations. This would look pretty with some glitter on top too, which I did not do today. I know you can probably hardly believe that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and stamp these dogs now, and I'm using my ink smusher tool to get a really good impression. And I'm just going to stamp them a couple of times to make sure I have nice dark black lines. And now I'm going to color these up. I'm not going to show you all of them being colored, but this sheepdog I completely fell in love with. So I'm going to show you the coloring on this one. I'm going in with some neutral gray Copics here, and just drawing in some kind of messy lines a little bit, because I feel like this sheepdog has a little bit of a crazy haircut, maybe. I'm going in a little closer so you can see these lines. I'm trying to make it look like, almost like hair, I guess, so that I still have those lines. So I'm not completely blending the lines out. I want to have those remain in the final image. So for these parts I'm using neutral grays, and then for his face and the rest of his body I'll use some warm grays, and that just kind of distinguishes between the different colors of fur. Instead of just leaving it white, I'm kind of just going over it with these warm grays. Super easy, super simple, and here you go. For the bubbles, I'm actually going to use a whole bunch of different colors, kind of like we did on the background for this one with the stencils. So I'll start with blue, add some yellow, and a bunch of different colors. Now, this is kind of small for you to see on the video, and I apologize for that, but I did just want to kind of give you an idea that I went in with some light colors of all of these colors to give it a similar look to the background. This particular dog bath is going to be purple. So I'm taking a few shades of purple and just coloring that up and adding some more shading where I feel like it needs it. Just super simple coloring today, but look how cute that dog is. To assemble this card, I'm adding some grass in 2 different shades of green. I'm going to build that up, and then I'll put the dog right there, and that's his towel, a little blue towel. And then I'm going to add a frame, a matte frame around it. I started thinking I was going to do purple, but I ended up doing a black matte. See, there you go. And the relax and enjoy sentiment fits exactly perfectly inside one of those bubbles. So I thought that was awesome. So let's move on to our second technique for creating bubbles, and that is to add some white pigment ink over a darker cardstock background. So I chose a navy blue background, and I just inked on some white pigment ink, and now I'm going to build up this card with some of these other dogs that I colored, and they're going to look super cute on this background as well. To finish off the bubbles, I'm going to add some white gel pen highlights, but when I added these, I felt like they were a little bit too stark white, so I'm just going over them with a black Copic multiliner, kind of outlining them and making them a little smaller, and then I ended up using a navy blue Copic marker to kind of take some of that back as well. I'm creating some dog mats, like bath mats, for these little characters to kind of sit on, and I did that by just cutting out an oval on some craft paper, and then I added some white pigment ink to those, kind of lighten them up, and now I'm just going to put this card together. I'll pop up the dogs using some foam tape, and I'll glue down the rest of those. I did use the sentiment that says, "A nice hot bath will fix about anything." And I stamped that in a navy blue ink and matted that with a gold glitter paper. See, there's some glitter. It snuck into these projects. And I'll add that soap right there to finish off this card. And I'll just add that to a top folding card base. For the final technique, I've already sprayed a piece of watercolor paper with some Distress spray stain. And this is the new Salvaged Patina color. Really pretty. And I kind of thought that it looked like the dog had just shook off all the water and it landed on this paper background. And I'm going to take some Deco foil gel and just add that all across the background. It did kind of take some of it up in the center of some of those bubbles, so I'm just adding it back here and trying to get it as smooth as I can. I'll peel that up, and now this needs to set aside to dry for a few hours. And I went and washed off all of my tools and the stencil so that it wouldn't ruin my stencil. And then I came back to it a few hours later, and I have this opal foil. It's really kind of neat. It's got an iridescent opal look to it, but it is transparent so you can still see through. So that's kind of a fun look for these bubbles. I'm going to go ahead and cut this to size, and then I'll run it through my ink machine on a level 3, and look at that fun background that you get. I'm going to save this piece here because I can use that on another card. And then I added a golden retriever, a little yellow ducky to that one, and it says, "It's your time to shine." So I finished that off really simply. Here's a look at all of our cards that we made today. This one with the white pigment background on a darker cardstock. And then our first one that we made together was the bubbles with lots of color to them, and that shaggy dog, super, super cute. So these were really fun to make all of these bubble backgrounds with the different looks. I hope you enjoyed these ideas today and you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That really does help with YouTube. And be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. I'll be back real soon with some more card inspiration. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.